Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are reviewing something new, something that just came out at Sephora, and it is from Rare Beauty. She just released a new setting powder and a new bronzing stick, so we are going to find out how these products perform and what they're supposed to do, and of course at the end of the video I will tell you whether or not I think that they are worth it. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started. I was totally going to order these online and wait for them to get to me, but I am in a rush because I am going to go out of town for New Year's to go spend time with my grandma, so I had to go to my local store, two of my local stores, because one of them didn't have both things, so I had to go to two different stores to get it, and I'm super excited to try them. I got the Warm Wishes Effortless bronzer stick in the color Happy Soul, which is the second shade. It says it is a mistake-proof bronzer in a convenient stick formula that melts seamlessly into skin for natural looking warmth and dimension. And then we have the Always an Optimist Soft Radiance setting powder in the color Light Medium is the one that I got. It is a super fine loose setting powder that melts with makeup to smooth, blur, and set with a soft radiant finish. I didn't actually know that this was a soft radiant finish. I thought it was going to be matte, so I am even more excited about it right now. Now, as you can see, I have done some steps to my face already. What I did was I prepped it with moisturizer and eye cream. I did my brows, and then I just applied foundation, concealer, and I set just like in the T-zone area with a little bit of translucent powder. You will find everything I used on my face linked down in the description box of the video, and if by the time you finish watching the review you decide you want either one of the Rare Beauty products, of course you can also find the links down below. So the first thing I want to do is definitely to try the bronzer. Now there are, I believe, either 5 or 6 shades of this bronzer, and they are not like contouring friendly. Don't try and get it to contour with, because none of the shades are cool tone. They're all pretty much neutral to warm. There are some darker ones that have more of a red base, more of a warm base. Here's a picture that I took at the store swatching them on the back of my hand, and I feel like it has a little bit of a jump. There's 2 very light shades and then it jumps quite a bit. I feel like I kind of wish there was something in the middle, but I did go with the lighter option because I felt like the 3rd shade was already a little bit too dark for me. So the color I went with was the color Happy Soul, and I do definitely think it will work. Now do keep in mind that this is a bronzing stick, so you're not going to get a lot of like definition with it. It's not going to create a lot of shadows on the face. So let's just go ahead and go for it. I'm going to start by bronzing up the forehead, and then we are going to do the cheek. I'm going to connect it right here. Let's do the sides of my nose so that my nose doesn't look pale. I'm even going to do a little bit of definition right there on the eyelid and the jawline. Let's bronze up the neck a little bit. And I'm going to blend it both ways with a brush and with a sponge, and I'll tell you what I like better. So I'm going to start with the IT Cosmetics Love is the foundation brush, and I'm going to just pat the product in place wherever I applied it. For my eye, I'm just going to go back and forth right there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, perfect. Okay, I am doing both sides of the nose with the brush. And right here I'm just going to go back and forth, blend it down a little bit right here. Okay, that was a lot of bronzer on my neck. I should not have done that much, but that's okay because we're going to fix it. And then I'm going to do the forehead. I feel like I maybe shouldn't have waited, because the product that's been on my face the longest, it's getting a little bit harder to blend, meaning it's drying. But that's okay, we can make it work. But I do think it probably would have been better to work in sections rather than draw my whole face and then blend it afterwards. If you ever do too much, the sponge will kind of help wipe it off, especially in the neck area. Since I don't have makeup underneath, it's good. So here's the side that I did with the brush. And I'm going to move on to the sponge on this side, and I'm just going to stipple and swipe with it. I can immediately see that the brush left a lot more product behind than the sponge is. I feel like the sponge is kind of taking it off a little bit more. Alright, I'm doing the eye sort of the same way by swiping it, the way I did it on the other one with the brush. And let's do the jawline. On my neck, I am going to be a little bit more rough, meaning I'm going to swipe a little more just because I knew already that it was a little too much. Okay, so take a look at the brush side versus the sponge side. Let's do it from a little further away. Brush and sponge. The sponge side looks a lot more natural, but I think it just means that I took more of the product off, and on this one the brush left more of the product on. So I guess that's kind of personal preference. I'm going to try to make myself even, so I am going to go over on this side with the sponge just a little bit, and then I'm going to add a little bit more product to this side. I do think the brush might be better, but I would recommend to work in sections so that the product doesn't have time to get a little bit rougher to blend. It's super creamy. It goes on very, very easily. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's hard to blend or anything like that, but I did notice that the longer I waited, it was a little bit tougher to move the product around, you know? So I added a little bit more to the sponge side, and I feel like right now I look pretty even. I like that it has a very natural to radiant finish. It definitely does not look dull, it does not look matte, and it gives me a really nice bronzy look to the face, but I like that it's not too orange, specifically the color that I got, which was Happy Soul. So far, so good. By the way, I really love the opening mechanism for this powder because it's going to make it not too messy to store when you have the cap sealed like this. I feel like this is kind of genius. Let's go ahead and open it and try the setting powder. I'm just going to put some right here on the cap. And like I said, I got the color light medium because the lightest one looked very, very pale, and I was kind of hesitant about it. And I'm going to use this big old brush. This is my reference number 22. I'm just going to dip it in there, swirl it around a little bit, tap off the excess, and apply it to the face. I'm doing half of my face first to see if we can see any sort of difference. So far, I feel like if you're any lighter than me, I would go for the lightest shade because I could see right here how it gave me a little bit of extra color. Personally, I don't mind it because I don't like to look super pale, but it does have a little bit of coverage as far as the color is concerned. So if you're lighter than me, you might not want to go for the light medium. You might want to just go for the light shade. I do really like that she came up with different colors of the powder because I feel like it's going to be a nice range for a lot of skin tones. So here is what it looks like with the powder on. And this side has no powder. I don't know that I would call this powder a radiant finish. To me, it has more so a natural to matte finish. I will say I have very, very dry skin and it looks very nice. It does not make my skin look dry, which is a huge plus for me. I'm not the bestest friend of powders. Powders usually make me look dry and crepey, and this one is not. So if you have dry skin and you like powders, this might be a really good option for you because my skin looks very, very natural with a natural finish to it. It added a little bit more coverage. It gave me a little bit more color that I really do like, and it is not making my skin look dry at all whatsoever. So that is a win in my book for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side of my face and see if I can tell you more, because this side I can look at it on my monitor. So let me go right here, and I'm just kind of buffing it all over. It definitely gives me color, okay? So again, if you're lighter than me, do not go for this shade because it's going to give you a tan, but in a very natural way, and I actually do kind of like it. It's like it's summertime again all over. I like it. I feel like this for me would really work well during the summer for sure, because I get a little bit more tan than I am right now. My grandma is a powder person. I feel like my grandma would really like this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. I am not mad at it at all because, again, usually I hate powders and I'm liking this one. So if that's the case for me, I feel like people who usually like powders are going to be all over it. A lot of you who follow me on Instagram, and if you are not following me on Instagram yet, please do so if you want to see more of my day-to-day life. I was in New York last week for a few days, and a lot of you were asking me what I was wearing on my eyes that you guys were seeing on my stories on Instagram, and it was this palette right here. So I'm going to quickly do the eye look that I did in New York those few days. It is the easiest, simplest thing. This palette is perfection for it and one of my go-to easy looks for sure. I'm going to start with the transition color right here, and I'm going to of course put it on the crease of my eye. And I have a confession to make, you guys. This is the last video I am filming in 2021, and I worked very hard all month to do 31 videos in the month of December. I am extremely proud of myself and my husband that we were able to do it, because he actually helped me so much with editing this month, more than he's ever helped me before, and it was literally the only reason that I could actually do what I wanted to do, which was upload a video a day during the month of December. Now, I have something to tell you. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to do 31 videos. I think we are leaving it at 30, which again, I'm very happy. We worked hard for it. It's incredible. But the reason we are not doing 31 is because I had 2 other videos that I was kind of planning on doing for this month. By the way, I've moved on to this shade. Still using that big fluffy brush. I had 2 other videos that I thought I could do this month, and I'm not going to be able to do either one of them, and it is for reasons outside of my control. So if you guys watched my Will I Buy It video where I talked about Pat McGrath, I told you that Pat McGrath was sending me the collection. I really thought that it would be here when I came back from New York, and I didn't even have a tracking number or anything. So the day that the Pat McGrath collection came out, I actually went ahead and bought it just in case, because I was like, they never sent me a tracking number. Maybe I got lost in the shuffle, you know? So I got the collection just in case. And then I also sent them an email and asked them, because they had emailed me to tell me that they were going to send it my way. So I sent them an email back and asked them, you know, whether or not I was still receiving it and if I could get like a tracking number. And basically it's the holidays. Their office is closed right now. They didn't have all of the items to send me on time, etc. And they will send me the collection, which is amazing, but it's not going to get here before I have to leave to Miami. And so therefore I think my review, unfortunately, on the Pat McGrath collection is going to be a little bit late, because my #1 priority for this month was to be able to spend at least part of the holiday season with my grandma. So I'm leaving for Miami very soon. This is the last video that I'm able to film at my house. When I get back from Miami, hopefully I'll have the Pat McGrath collection here, and I'm going to go into this shade right here. And that will be the first video that I film next year. And then the other video that I had in mind for the month of December that could complete the 31 videos that I wanted to upload this month is a video with my grandma. And unfortunately, my grandma is not feeling great right now. She has a lot going on with her health at the moment, and they're trying to kind of stabilize everything and put her back in good health, but right now she's not feeling great. And I am going to Miami very soon, either tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll get there, and so I just want to spend time with her and take care of her and all of that. And I'm not going to be asking her to film videos with me this time around, because she needs to feel better before she does that. So the point is, instead of 31 videos during this month, you guys are getting 30 videos, which I am still extremely proud of. And a huge thank you to my husband for helping me edit like crazy throughout the month of December. Okay, so I did all 3 of the matte shades. I used the darkest one on the outer corner. So now I'm going in with this gold shade right here in my Refer number 2 brush. And I'm going to put it in the center of my eyelid, blend it into the dark shade a little bit. Same thing over here, of course. And then the lightest shade next, and we are doing that on the inner part of the eyelid. So anyways, I definitely really hope that you enjoyed all of the content that I uploaded during the month of December. And 30 out of 31 videos that I wanted to upload this month is definitely something to be proud of, in my opinion, I think, for me, because you guys, I worked hard, especially because I wanted to spend New Year's with my grandma and I wanted to go to New York for a few days. So I had so much pre-filming that I did at the beginning of the month, and you know, it was a lot. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed uploading videos for you every single day, and you guys who have been watching all of the videos, I definitely really appreciate you. This is the eye look that I was rocking most days in New York, and I absolutely love it. It's very simple to do, very easy to do with this Natasha Denona palette for sure. And one of my go-to favorite eye looks that I do when I don't even want to think about what I'm doing, because I know that it's going to look really good. I do like to pair it with a brown eyeliner. I think it gives it a little bit of an extra oomph. So I'm going to do the Natasha Denona brown eyeliner in my waterline. And I'm going to do a little bit of it in between my lower lashes with a very light hand. And then with a pointed brush, I'm just going to blend in between my lower lashes so that the eyeliner defines the under eyes a little bit extra. Curling my lashes a little bit. Let me do some mascara and I'll be right back to finish up the look. Alrighty, so I am back with my mascara on, and all we are missing is a little bit of blush, a little bit of highlighter, and also something on my lips. So for blush, I'm going to go back to my Natasha Denona palette, and I'm going to use this blush right over here, which I love. I'm going to use my sponge for it and dab it on my cheeks. For those of you who are asking whether my blush got dry, it hasn't. It's super creamy in there still. It's just not like the most pigmented blush, but it never was, which I personally appreciate because I like my blushes not to be intimidating. And I absolutely love the finish of this one, the color of this one, everything about it I love. I kept thinking something was dark in my video, and I just realized that it's this light right here that I never turned on. Alrighty, so blush. Okay, so I'm applying the blush, and I love to apply it with the sponge, by the way. Nice. And then with my Wayne number 4 brush, I'm going into the highlighter shade right here. Let's highlight the top of the cheekbones with it. I've decided that the Wayne number 4 is my favorite highlighter brush. I was using the number 3 for highlighter, and it's nice, but I just prefer this one for the under eyes. I think the number 4 is perfect for highlighter because it just gives me a bit more precision, which is definitely appreciated. Boom, boom, boom. Highlighter is on. I love this palette so much. Let's go ahead and do some lipstick. I've been obsessing over my Pat McGrath glosses lately, so I'm going to use one of those. But before I do, I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Done Undone lip liner, just like this. And I'm going to use my Prima Donna lip gloss from Pat McGrath. A little bit of setting spray. Alright, and so this right here is the final look. I've had a little bit of time to think about the products that I used today. This is a first impressions video. I'm not going to be able to tell you how long they last on the skin or anything like that. I will say the bronzer is very easy to use. I'm not sure that I'm super impressed with their color choices because I really felt like this one was a little bit too light. I would have needed something a little bit darker, I don't know, in my opinion. And there was some jumping in between shades. It is easy to use. It is very pigmented. It performed well. I do like it. However, I don't know that we need to like run to grab it. Maybe if you're in the hunt for a cream bronzer, it might be a good option for you, but it's nothing like overly spectacular in my opinion. Like, I just don't think that this will be taking the place of any of my favorite bronzers in my collection at the moment being. Maybe I'll continue to use it and find out that I love it more than I think I do right now. For today though, I just think it is a good bronzer, good pigmentation, blends out easily. The price, I forgot to talk about prices. This one retails for $23, which is not bad, but I honestly expected it to be more around the $18–19 price point. And as far as the setting powder is concerned, this one retails for $22, and I have to admit that I like it a lot more than a lot of more expensive setting powders I've tried. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of like the Laura Mercier setting powders, the Fenty setting powders. I actually like this kind a little better. It's thinner, very natural looking. I like that it has a little bit more coverage. For someone who doesn't use a lot of powder all the time and it's like not one of her favorite steps in her routine, for me to actually really like a powder, I feel like it has to be really, really good. So the powder I do recommend if you are in the hunt for a new one. If you're any lighter than me, go with the lightest shade, because this one was borderline a little bit too dark for my complexion at the moment. However, I did really like the color because I like to be a little bit more bronzy. I like to be my Cuban color. And so the powder gets 2 thumbs up from me. I do really like it and I recommend it. The bronzer stick was good, but it just didn't knock my socks off, if that makes sense. Anyways, I really hope that you guys liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We have 2 more videos coming before the end of the year. We have my yearly favorites and another video that I filmed for the 31st. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my video and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye!